firstly, what's the feeling like after the weekend?
Yeah, we're still staying really positive. I think we did a lot of things right. We just gave the ball back to North Melbourne a little bit too easy at times, and it was probably just a few of our fundamental skill errors that cost us in the end. So, yeah, we're still staying positive, and we definitely think we're still heading in the right direction.
Pretty eager, I guess, to stop the bleeding pretty early and stop the losses. I guess after two, do the leadership kind of sit down together and have a chat about anything, or what do you kind of do after this kind of situation?
Yeah, after every game we meet as a leadership group and just speak about how the leadership was during the game, whether we could have done things better, whether we did things okay. So we're always trying to recognise moments in games where we don't need to wait for the message to come down from the coach, where we can try and change momentum out there. So that's something that we're continuing to develop and we'll keep working at.
Midfield group was obviously down against Brisbane. How did you rate their performance against the Kangaroos?
I thought the effort was really good. We still hunted the footy and tried to get our hands on it as much as we could, but as I said, it was probably just the simple skill errors that allowed them to kick 2 or 3 goals in a row, which is something that is good in a way because we can turn that around, because we know that we've shown that our skills have been good.
Pretty even in terms of contested possessions, but the task doesn't get any easier this week with the likes of Dangerfield and Selwood awaiting us.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough challenge going to Geelong and trying to beat the Cats, but something that we're really excited about. They're obviously going pretty well at the moment, and we're just really looking forward to the challenge of playing against a good side and hopefully coming away with the points.
Did North sort of teach you how far off the pace you are, if that's the right phrase, like where you are exactly at, do you think?
Oh, they've definitely got some mature bodies and some smart players. But I think, yeah, we did learn a lot from the game, and we thought that we were in it, a fair amount of the time. We just couldn't quite get it done. So we definitely take a little bit of confidence out of the game, even though, we did lose by 6 or 7 goals.
How important is it getting the points this weekend, given that you have lost the last 2, and in the frame of mind of the season, looking forward, how important is it getting this win early on?
Yeah, as I said, the boys are still staying really positive and excited that we're heading in the right direction. But obviously Geelong are a very good side, so it would be great for the boys' confidence to get a win against a good side. So we'll prepare. We've reviewed the game thoroughly from the weekend where we fell down, and hopefully we can turn it around quickly.
Do you think you can actually, as a team, do you go to try and stop Selwood and Dangerfield? They're such a potent 1-2 sort of punch in that midfield there, or do you have to try and lock them down, or do you simply have to outplay them and midfielders have to sort of hunt the ball a bit harder?
Yeah, they're both definitely great players, and we'll go in with a team approach, definitely to try and beat their whole midfield. I think they bat pretty deep in their midfield, so you can't just worry about 1 or 2 guys. You got to take them on with a team approach. So we'll definitely do that, and we think if we play our way and play to our potential, we'll give them a good run.
I guess, was there a bit of mixed feedback from E, because you guys did have him there, so he wouldn't have been, completely doom and gloom about your performance?
No, for sure. Yeah, he was really clear that our effort was great most of the night, but we just made some fundamental skill errors that cost us at times. And against good sides, you can't do that. It comes back to bite you. They hurt you. They're scoring very well, North Melbourne, so they sort of punish you once they get the ball back. So we'll have a big week on the track and make sure we train well, and that's been the good thing. The boys have been training well the last couple of weeks, and we'll just stick at the process, and I think it'll work out for us in the long run.
Matty, were you watching pretty quickly what happened in the MRP yesterday with Geelong, or after the dust up with the Port Adelaide?
No, I wasn't watching it that closely, to be honest, but yeah, there's a few good barnies on the weekend, wasn't there? So a few fines handed out, but no, I wasn't following it that closely.
I guess it came from a knee in the back to Dangerfield, and also gave their cops on the weekend as well. Where do you kind of see that kind of act in the scheme of things, that offences you can do on the football field? Is it pretty low, because I guess you can't even brace yourself, you don't even see it coming?
Yeah, it's a tough one to answer. I think we'll leave that one to the match review panel. What we obviously can't comment on it, so yeah, I can't say too much about that.
You mentioned a couple of times skill errors. so did Rocket, looked to me to be decision errors, more so the next, not all the time, but one handball too many, inboard that wasn't on. The risk taking, like, it's a fine line, and when you get it right, you can open sides up. But do you go in your shell a little bit now, be a bit more conservative, and protect the footy more, or do you keep pushing those?
Yeah, no, we've still got to be bold for sure, bold with our ball movement, but it is a fine line getting that balance right, and that's something that the coaches have been working very hard on, educating the players, and we're always trying to find that balance. Obviously, we've moved the ball pretty well at times this year, but a few times we've gone for it a bit too much. So we're always trying to find that balance, and as I said before, we're preparing well for games each week. So as long as we keep training hard, I think it'll definitely click.
And that extra handball a few times, is that the most physical pressure you've had from an opposition this year? It seemed to be a little bit up on, the first month.
Yeah, their pressure was great, and obviously when pressure's up from any side, it does probably impact on decision making. So that's something that we've got to embrace, and I'm sure we will. We'll keep training hard, and I'm sure as the group matures, we'll get better in those situations. But yeah, at the moment we're doing everything we can to work on getting the balance right and make sure we keep on moving the footy well.